Returning to Manchester United was supposed to be a fairy tale homecoming for Cristiano Ronaldo. He called it a dream, but that dream quickly turned into a public nightmare, ending with a bombshell interview and a bitter, mid-season divorce. So what really happened behind the scenes at Old Trafford? Why did the hero's return end in such spectacular, heartbreaking fashion? Today, we're uncovering the untold story of Ronaldo's fateful final season at Manchester United. Let's rewind to the summer of 2021. The football world was buzzing. Ronaldo was leaving Juventus, and a move to Manchester City seemed all but confirmed. Reports said the deal was close. Can you imagine Ronaldo in sky blue? The thought alone sent shockwaves through the United fan base. But then, a crucial phone call happened. Sir Alex Ferguson, Ronaldo's father figure in football, picked up the phone. He told Ronaldo, "It's impossible for you to come to Manchester City." That conversation changed everything. For Ronaldo, a call from Sir Alex was more than just advice. It was a command rooted in loyalty and history. He chose with his heart and made the emotional return to the red side of Manchester, turning his back on the rivals to come home. The initial euphoria was electric. Viva Ronaldo echoed through Old Trafford once again. He scored twice on his second debut, and it felt like the glory days were back. But the feel-good factor didn't last. The team's performance started to slide. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was sacked, and in came Ralf Rangnick, the godfather of gegenpressing. This is where the first major cracks began to appear. Rangnick's philosophy demanded relentless high-pressing from every player, a style that, frankly, a 37-year-old striker, no matter how great, was not built for. Ronaldo's game has always been about explosive moments, clinical finishing, and being the focal point of the attack, not chasing defenders for 90 minutes. Sources from inside the locker room described a clash of footballing ideologies. Ronaldo, with his unparalleled experience and trophy cabinet, would question Rangnick's tactics. He believed the team's approach needed to be more adaptable, leveraging his strengths rather than trying to fit him into a system that negated them. He wasn't just being defiant. He was arguing from a place of experience, having won everything there is to win. But in the modern game, the system is often king, and Rangnick was uncompromising. The tension was palpable. The team was disjointed on the pitch, and the results showed it. Ronaldo finished as the top scorer with 24 goals, but the team limped to a 6th-place finish, their worst-ever points tally in the Premier League era. The dream was already souring. Then came the new era under Erik Ten Hag. Hopes were high that a new, disciplined manager could restore order. Ten Hag arrived with a clear vision, one built on his success at Ajax. A high-energy, possession-based system with strict tactical rules for every player. And once again, Ronaldo found himself at odds with the manager's philosophy. The issues that started under Rangnick were now magnified. Ten Hag demanded a fluid front line, with his striker being the first line of defense. Ronaldo, in his late 30s, was an apex predator, not a workhorse. The preseason was a turning point. Ronaldo missed the tour of Thailand and Australia due to family reasons, a situation that the club publicly accepted. However, this meant he started the season behind in fitness and, more importantly, behind in integrating into Ten Hag's complex new system. This is where the conflict with the younger players also boiled over. Ronaldo, a famously obsessive professional, was reportedly appalled by the attitude of some of his younger teammates. He didn't see the same level of dedication, the same hunger to be the best, that had defined his entire career. He couldn't understand players who weren't willing to stay late, put in the extra work, or live and breathe football the way he did. He would voice his frustrations openly in the dressing room and on the training pitch, not to bully, but to try and instill the winning mentality he felt was missing. He famously said in his interview that some of the younger generation don't care. They have things more easily. Everything's easy. They don't suffer. For a man who clawed his way from Madeira to the pinnacle of world football through sheer force of will, this perceived lack of professionalism was a deep source of frustration and disillusionment. The tension reached its boiling point in October 2022 during a match against Tottenham. With United winning 2-0, Ten Hag asked Ronaldo to come on as a late-game substitute, with just minutes remaining. For a player of his stature, a 5-time Ballon d'Or winner, this was the ultimate disrespect. It felt like a deliberate humiliation. In that moment, Ronaldo refused to come on and walked down the tunnel before the final whistle. This act of defiance was the point of no return. He was subsequently dropped from the squad for the next game and made to train alone. From Ronaldo's perspective, this wasn't just about playing time. He felt that the manager had been trying to provoke him, to push him out of the club. He felt a profound sense of betrayal, not just from Ten Hag, but from senior figures at the club who he believed were actively trying to force his departure. This feeling of being cornered and betrayed is what led to the now infamous interview with Piers Morgan. It was a calculated explosion. Ronaldo knew it would burn his bridges with the club, but he felt he had no other choice. He needed to tell his side of the story. In the interview, he didn't hold back. He said he felt betrayed and that he had no respect for Erik ten Hag because he doesn't show respect for me. He spoke about the club's lack of progress since Sir Alex Ferguson left, pointing to outdated facilities and a stagnant culture. It was a desperate, last-ditch attempt to be heard. The final act of a man who felt his legacy and his love for the club were being tarnished. The aftermath was swift. His contract was terminated by mutual consent just days later. The dream was officially over. So, what's the lesson here? Ronaldo's return shows that sometimes love and history are not enough. Football has evolved. The romantic idea of a hero returning to save the day clashed with the cold, hard pragmatism of modern tactical systems. Was Ronaldo blameless? No. His public defiance was unsustainable. But was the club and its management blameless? Far from Italiano. They signed a legend, a goal-scoring phenomenon, and then failed to build a system that played to his incredible strengths. Instead, trying to force him into a box he was never meant to fit in. They arguably disrespected a club icon in the twilight of his career. It was a failure on all sides, a tragedy of miscommunication, clashing egos, and a fundamental misunderstanding of what made Cristiano Ronaldo so great in the first place. The story leaves us with a huge, lingering question for all Manchester United fans. Looking back, was the club right to back the manager and force out a legend, or should they have found a way to manage their greatest ever goalscorer, even if it meant compromising the manager's authority? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Should Manchester United have let Ronaldo go to keep Ten Hag? Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from the world of football.